Hey everybody, I'm Jason and welcome to the next video of Pair of Geeks. Today's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be doing a review. A review. Yes, I'm doing a review. I know it's not normal for us to do a review, however this one is quite special. It's come out of a group of people called Power Up Gamers Role Playing for Accessibility. And in terms of supporting anybody in the community, I'm all for that. And the actual book itself is something that I really enjoyed reading. So what is the book? It's called Legate's Tome of Amazing Creatures. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I did go with what it said in the book, but I'm aware that, British America, I know you guys say the O's a little bit differently, so hopefully that is correct. Legate's Tome of Amazing Creatures is currently available to buy on DriveThruRPG for $15 in PDF format. There's also going to be playtesting happening in about a couple of weeks' time for the next instalment, Volume 2 of the series. Essentially, it is the first in 3 volumes of a monster manual, but it's specifically for creatures set in the homebrew world of Legate, which Jayson, the main director behind the book, has created himself. It is also completely accessible to be used in any 5th edition game, so if you want to use the regular monster manual plus this new one, then by all means do so. There are a lot of monsters in there as well, if you want to get into the beef of it. 75 monsters I think there was, if I counted that correctly, which for a monster manual is quite a lot, and especially one that's been self-published. That's a lot of monsters to think about, and I believe there was a lot of playtesting and effort to go into revamping some of these, redesigning them, and I believe some were even omitted. I don't know if that's entirely correct, but I'm sure I heard that somewhere, which shows that a lot of work went into this. And again, it covers 1 volume out of 3, so there's going to be 2 more published. So first impressions, what did I think of this book? Well, certainly in terms of its design, its general aesthetics, I really liked it. You can definitely see the passion and the dedication that's gone into making this tome, and it really is a tome. There's a lot in there. You don't just have your bog standard sort of 5th edition style formulaic sheets of, okay, this monster does that, this monster does this. It's also got random tables you can roll for things like adventure hooks and various other things along with it. There's also a lot more, and this is a part I really like, there's also a lot more in each of the individual monster pages about the lore that goes into, okay, why are these monsters actually there? And considering that Legate is something that is homebrewed and it's not sort of widely accessible, then it's great to actually see some of the flavour that goes into this other world. Evidently though, the world of Legate, it does seem to have a very kind of D&D vibe, and that it's sort of sword and sorcery, medieval, high fantasy, that kind of thing. So it would be something just suited to that kind of genre. Again, you can put it into 5th edition, you can put it into Pathfinder if you want, I'm sure. But if you wanted something completely different, it would be much more difficult to adapt these monsters into that setting. That aside though, one thing I really enjoyed about this book is just how different the monsters are. They kind of gave off an old school feel in terms of their design. Also the illustrations really helped in that regard, but it was a nice kind of style. I do like the artwork of 5th edition, but it's very kind of, it's going for the more sort of realistic approach, or sort of new school, if you will, whereas old school, you've got your sort of your sketches, you've got your sort of shadings going on, and where that's due, and there's a place for it, it works really well. A lot of the monsters really gave off a bit of a fighting fantasy flavour as well, in that similar sense. I don't know if Jayson specifically has read any fighting fantasy, maybe he has, maybe that did go into it, but at the same time, I like it. It's a little bit different from the sort of the usual 5th edition stuff that you get, which is good, because when I first picked it up I thought, okay, is it gonna be almost a literal mirror of 5th edition? But it's not. It's got its own kind of style to it, which I really liked. My biggest criticism of this book, and I'll sort of explain why, is in terms of just how powerful overall these monsters are. I was looking through the monsters and sort of enjoying them, and I picked up certain points individually, but then I noticed this page of challenge ratings, and I went, oh my god, there's like 3 or 4 monsters under a 10 challenge rating. Now, some people really like epic level monsters. Me personally, with things like 5th edition, I don't really like playing sort of large level campaigns or epic level campaign. But again, that's just me. You know, you can use these monsters in lots of different scenarios and what have you, but even if you do like epic level monsters, they are really, really powerful. Some of them, like, well, take the star of the show, the Star Dragon, that is insane. Even for, you know, a dragon, it's pretty damn powerful. And I did get a bit concerned about whether these things could be a bit overpowered. Having said that, I do appreciate a lot of playtesting has gone into this. And also, the book is called Legate's Tome of Amazing Creatures. Okay, fine, it's giving off this sort of epic sort of stance. It does also state in the back of the book that yes, there are a lot of powerful monsters in there, but we are doing 3 volumes and there are going to be more weak creatures, I suppose you would call them, in the later books. So it has been addressed, definitely, which is fine. And again, it can be a bit subjective as to whether you like these kinds of monsters or not, being super, super beefed up and powerful. Again, I personally don't, and in my opinion, I think, certainly for this first book, which is, again, part of a homebrew world that not many people are aware of because it's one person's creation, I think the first book could have been more of a balance. I really like weak creatures as long as they are interesting. Going back to Fighting Fantasy for a minute, take the wheelies. They're quite weak, but they're really, really interesting. It's these sort of disc spinning creatures that throw knives at you, and they are quick and nippy, but also they can be defeated quite easily once you get around them. There's also other weird and wonderful characters which can be more sort of NPCs more than enemies, and I think there are a few of those in Legate's Tome of Amazing Creatures, but at the same time, they're also extremely powerful and you would not want to fuck around with them at all. But again, it is a good book. They are well-designed monsters in their own right, and they are very, very interesting. And I'm going back to the old school thing, I really, really like that flavour in these books. So overall, I would certainly recommend it, and Jaren and the team have done a good job, and also the people who've done all the art as well, and the play testing, and there's been a lot of people involved. It's been great. But for me personally, I would have done things a little bit differently, just in terms of the concept of how this book and the other 2 books would be shown in its own right. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and again, it's all down to my opinion. You can completely disagree with me if you want. Hell, leave a comment if you want to, and I'll see what you guys think of this book. Go ahead and pick it up on DriveThruRPG. Again, it's only $15, which is not really that much, to be fair, and it's supporting the local community. Definitely try and get involved in the playtesting as well. Get in touch with Jaren. I'm going to put his channel up here as well for you guys, and hopefully we'll see the next book coming up very soon. And as always, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.